Hello guys, my name is Prince and this is Math Center. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Post your comments and questions on my social media handles and I'll respond to it. We are on the topic of algebraic expressions and this is the fourth video on algebraic expressions. In the previous video, we learned how to multiply and divide algebraic expressions. In this video, we are going to learn how to multiply algebraic expressions that involve brackets. So let's learn how to remove brackets in algebraic expressions. Brackets are used to group terms. To remove the bracket or expand an expression, we use the distributive law. Now, what does the distributive law say? In the distributive law, we say that multiply each term in the bracket by the term outside the bracket. So, for example, if you have this expression A, if you have the expression A into bracket B plus C, to expand or remove this bracket, we use the distributive law, and the distributive law says that multiply each term in the bracket by the term outside the bracket. The term outside the bracket is A. The terms in the bracket are B and C. So use what is outside the bracket to multiply what is inside the bracket. Distribute it over it. So in this case, you are going to have A is going to multiply B. So you are going to have A times B. Then plus A is going to multiply C. So A times C. So that's all. This is what we are going to do here. We are going to use what is outside the bracket to multiply what is inside the bracket. Remember that when we do that, we will add the individual results. So we add what we get here and what we get here. That is why we have the addition sign here. Now, when you are multiplying, take note of the following signs. When you are using what is outside the bracket to multiply what is inside the bracket, take note of the following. If you multiply positive by positive, you are going to, if you multiply positive by negative, you are going to have a negative. So if you have positive 2, let's say plus 2, multiplying negative 1, you are going to get negative 2. If you multiply negative by positive, you are going to get negative. So for example, if you have negative 2 multiplying positive 1, you are going to get negative 2. If you multiply a positive by a positive, you are going to get a positive. So if you have 2 multiplying 2, you are going to get 4. So positive 2 plus times positive 2 will give us positive 4. But if you have a negative multiplying a negative, you are going to get a positive. So if you have negative 2 multiplying negative 2, you are going to get positive 4. Now let's take examples and learn more about how to do this. So we are told to expand and simplify the following. We have been given from 1 up to 7. So let's take them one after the other. So we take the first one, A plus 2. Now we can see from here that A plus 2 is in a bracket and there is nothing outside the bracket. As we've learned in previous videos, if there is nothing outside the bracket like this, it means that the coefficient of this is 1. 1 is outside the bracket. So we are going to use 1 to open this bracket. This is just for the preliminary stages. As we go on, we are going to take more detailed examples. So A plus 2 all into bracket is equal to 1 into bracket A plus 2. So now we have 1 outside the bracket. So we are going to use 1 to multiply through the bracket. We are going to distribute 1 over the terms in the bracket. So we are going to get 1 times A plus 1 times 2. So we continue. 1 times A will give us A plus 1 times 2 will give us 2. So we've now opened the bracket. So we can see that since 1 is multiplying what is in the bracket, our final answer is going to be the same as what we had in the bracket. Now let's move a step further. This time we have 2 outside the bracket and what is in the bracket is s plus 2. So we have 2, then bracket open, s plus 3. So we will do it the same as we did for the first instance. You will distribute what is outside the bracket over what is inside the bracket. So in this case, we are going to have 2 times x plus 2 times 3. So we'll move on. 2 times x, we've learned from multiplications of algebraic expression that 2 times x is the same as 2x. Then 2 times 3 will give us 6. Now we can see from here that 2x and 6 are not like terms, so we cannot add them further. So we are going to end here. So 2 into bracket x plus 3 will give us 2x plus 6. I hope you can see the pattern in what we are doing. Let's take another example. Minus 3 into bracket 2x minus 4. So now we distribute minus 3 over what is inside the bracket. So we begin by, the first one is going to be minus 2 times 2x. That will be in one bracket. Then once again plus, remember the addition must always be there, plus what is outside the brackets here, so minus 3 times what is here, minus 4. So to begin with, we have minus 3 times the first term here, which is 2x. Then plus, you open another bracket, minus 3 times what is here, which is minus 4. So we have distributed what is outside the bracket over what is inside the bracket. Now let's continue. Remember, we said that when negative multiplies positive, it's negative. When we were doing multiplications of algebraic expression, we said that if you multiply minus 3 by 2, so we are going to have minus 3 times 2x. What we said was that first group the coefficients, so we are going to get minus 3 times 2 times x. Then you multiply minus 3 and minus 2 and 2, then you multiply the result by x. So we can see that minus 3 times 2x will give us minus 6x. Now we said that if you multiply a negative by a negative, you are going to get positive. So minus 3 times minus 4 is giving us positive 12. So minus 3 times minus 4 is giving us positive 12. So we are going to get minus 6 plus 12. Let's take another example. We have 10a plus, into bracket open, a plus 2. We have seen that whenever you have something like this and there is no number outside the bracket, what it means is that the coefficient is 1. So we have 1 here. Now we first deal with what is in the bracket. So 10 is not in the bracket, so we don't concentrate on that for now. But we've seen that what is outside the bracket is 1. And whenever you have 1 multiplying something, is the same thing. So 1 times a plus 2 will give us a plus 2. Because you are going to get 1 times a, which is a, plus 1 times 2, which is 2. Then from here, you group like terms. We can see that 10a and a are like terms. So we group the like terms and we add them. So if you add 10a to a, you are going to get 11a. Remember that a is the same as 1a. And when we were doing additions of algebraic expression, we said that you add the coefficient. So we add 10 to 1 and we are getting 11. So we have 11a plus 2. 11a and 2 are not like terms, so we cannot add any further. Let's take another example. This time we have 2 brackets here. So we first deal with the first bracket, then we go to the second bracket. So in dealing with the first bracket, we do it the same as we have been doing. Distribute what is inside the bracket over distribute what is outside the bracket over what is inside the bracket. So we are going to get 2 times 4 times 2t. So we are going to have 4 times 2t, as you can see here. So 4 times 2t, as we can see here. 4 times 2t plus 4 times 1. Then we have here. Then plus, remember that we always bring the positive sign, so plus. Now you come to what is in the second bracket. What is outside the bracket is minus 3, so minus 3 will multiply what is the first term in the bracket, so minus 3 times t. So we are going to get 4 times 2t in one bracket plus 4 times 1 in one bracket, then plus minus 3 times t in one bracket. Then we bring the plus again and you open another bracket, minus 3 times minus 2. So you distribute what is outside the bracket over what is inside the bracket. Now whenever you close a bracket, make sure that the next sign is addition. So in the first instance, we have 4 times 2t in the first bracket, then plus 4 times what is inside the bracket here is plus 1, so plus 1. Then you bring your plus sign again, minus 3 times t, so minus 3 times t in one bracket, then plus minus 3 times minus 2 in another bracket. So we move on. We have seen from multiplication of algebraic expressions that 4 times 2t is going to give us 8t. 4 times 1 will give us 4. Now we come here. Minus 3 times t is going to give us minus 3t. But we have plus here and we have minus in the bracket. So it's going to be like this. So we already have a positive sign here. Then what is in the bracket is giving us minus 3t. Now whenever you have plus and minus meeting like this, everything changes to minus. So that's why we have minus 3t here. Then we have plus. Remember, minus 3 times minus 2 is giving us positive 6. So from here, we group like terms. The like terms here are 8t and minus 3t. They go to one side. Then 4 plus 6 also goes to another side. We subtract this. We learned from addition and subtraction of algebraic expressions that when you are subtracting, we subtract the coefficients. So we are going to get 8 minus 3, which is going to give us 5. So we have 5t. Then 4 plus 6, which is going to give us 10. So we have 5t plus 10. Now let's take another example. Minus bracket open 15m plus n, then minus another bracket open is m plus n. So let's continue. Once again, whenever you have this and there is no sign outside the bracket, what it means is that the sign there is 1. So here we can say that the number that when there is a sign there but there is no number there, then it means that the number there is 1. So the number here is going to be 1 and the number here is also going to be 1. So we are going to use minus 1. We are going to distribute minus 1 over what is in the bracket. So once again, we start by opening the first bracket. So we are going to get minus 1 times 15m in one bracket. Now we've closed this bracket, so we bring our addition sign. Then we move to the next one. Minus 1 times what is in the bracket here, which is n plus n. So we are going to get minus 1 times n. Then we move on to the next section. Remember, since we've closed this bracket, we bring another addition sign. The next bracket, we have minus 1 times n. So that bracket will come. Then since we've closed this bracket, we bring another addition sign. Then we go on to the next one, minus 1 times n. So minus 1 times n, then we close the bracket. Now let's deal with what is in the bracket. Minus 1 times 15m is going to give us minus 15n. Now minus 1 times n is going to give us minus n. So we have plus here and we have minus here. Once, as I said here, whenever you have plus and minus meeting like that, the whole thing changes to minus. So you are going to get minus n. Then when you come here, what is in the bracket is giving us minus 1 times m. Minus 1 times m is going to give us minus m. Once again, we have plus and minus meeting, so it changes to minus. Then when you come to the last portion, what's in the bracket is giving us minus 1 times n. We know that minus 1 times n is giving us minus n. Once again, we have plus and minus meeting, so everything changes to minus. From here, we group like terms. So in grouping like terms, we are going to have the m's at one side and the n's at one side. If you group the m's, you are going to get minus 15m minus m minus n minus n. So all these variables with no coefficients attached to them, what it means is that they are all 1 and 1 in front of them. So minus 15 minus 1 is going to give us minus 16. So you have minus 16n. Then minus 1 minus 1 is going to give us minus 2. So minus 2n. Let's take the last example. 7. A bracket open, b minus c, then bracket close, plus d bracket open, b minus c bracket closed. So once again, we distribute what is outside the bracket over what is inside the bracket. So we start. We are going to have a times b as seen here. So a times b in the first bracket. Then since you've closed this bracket, you bring your addition sign to plus. We are going to open another bracket. A times what is inside here, which is minus c. So a times minus c. Then you close that bracket. You bring your addition sign since you've closed a bracket. Then you open another one again. We are doing it for this side. D times b is going to be d times b here. Then since we've closed the bracket here, we bring addition sign and we open another bracket. D times minus c. So d times minus c will be here. Now we've learned from multiplication of algebraic expressions that a times b is going to give us ab. Now a times minus c is going to give us minus ac. So from here we can see that we have plus here, and what is in the bracket is giving us minus. We have learned that when plus and minus meet in that way, it changes to minus. So minus ac. Then plus bd times b, that's going to give us bd. Remember we said that if there are variables, the variables are listed in alphabetical order. So it is bd, not db. Then we have d times c, d times minus c to give us minus cd, not dc. So we can see from here that there are no like terms here. So we can't add any further. Thank you so much for watching this video. Pay attention to the pattern or the ways that the questions were solved, and pick more examples on algebraic expressions that contain fractions, that contain brackets. See you in the next video where we will learn how to multiply two binomials. Bye bye.